Well, it's about a week after the Planet Comicon in Kansas City, and I got a couple of videos I wanted to do. One of them being some of the comics that I got autographed there. They had quite a few great artists and writers there, so I think I got a lot of really good ones there. Lines weren't so terrible. I think the most I spent in a line probably was about 10 to 15 minutes, 10 to maybe 20 minutes for some of the bigger names that were out there. But most of them just pretty much walking up, getting it signed, and off you go. So I'll just start off. There was this one here, which was Rob Davis. He did a few comics that I've read before, The Maze being one of them. I was just digging through a box that he had, and just picked out a couple comic books that I kind of knew of. Not as familiar with Rob Davis, but after talking with him a little bit and everything, probably look up more of other stuff that he's doing. But let's pull out another one here. And that's going to be the Pirates of Dark Water. As a kid, I can remember watching this cartoon. So when I saw this, and it's kind of the time frame of comics that I collected as a kid, so I thought definitely, yeah, sure. His style, he kind of adapts it to what he needs, and he adapted it to the cartoon style, and then in the Maze, it's kind of a different style. So it's kind of neat to see how an artist can be flexible with things. Let's see, and then we have Dennis Hopeless. He did this comic book, which was Vader Dark Visions. I was kind of wondering if he was going to say anything to me signing this book, because he did take some grief. There was some controversy about this comic book. And so as I handed it to him, he says, yeah, you know about this comic book, don't you? And I'm like, what? There's something about the comic book? And then he started to try and tell me, and I was like, oh, no, I know exactly what was going on. And he kind of explained to me what kind of why he, kind of what he was doing, going into it. And it was, kind of interesting to see, when a writer kind of gets into a little bit of trouble or something, just, kind of hear his side of it and everything, which is kind of interesting. I thought it was cool. He signed this, and he also signed my poster. And then another one is going to be James Tinian IV. He's probably one of the bigger writers there that were there this year. Got him to sign a Department of Truth, which is one that I've kind of been reading. Been enjoying that, and he was really, really nice guy. Really nice. Probably one of the better ones that artists that I talked to. Some can seem busy or rushed or what have you, but he was really nice. Took the time, talked with me a little bit, and then I was on my way. But yeah, I really enjoyed talking to him, and went and saw his panel as well, which was pretty cool. Yeah, and then also got a Something is Killing the Children signed. I thought those were a couple good books. Had really nice spots where you could sign them and everything. So I was pretty happy to get him to sign a couple books for me. I had caught him at C2E2 like a few years back, and he had signed Detective Comics. I didn't bring a Batman comic, which seems kind of funny. In retrospect, I probably should have brought one of those along, but what do you do? Then we got Chris Burnham, who was there, and he was nice enough to sign this comic for me, and he signed my Image poster as well. So I'm starting to kind of get quite a few names on that poster as well. That was the only thing I had. When I was there, I saw more of the other comics I did, and kind of wish I'd went through my collection a little bit more closely and caught something and maybe brought a couple more with me. But I'm fine with just this one. That's fine. And let's see. Then we have Matt Kint with his Berserker. comics. And I was able to get a couple of those signed. So I was happy to get those. I had seen him as well at C2E2 at one time and gotten a couple, but Berserker is probably my favorite, and got to talk to him for just a second, and he was a real nice guy to talk to. So if you ever get a chance to meet him at a convention, definitely do so. And then probably one of the biggest name there would have been John Romita Jr., X-Men, SpiderMan, you name it. He's written quite a bit. He's also went over to DC for a while. Probably not my most favorite stuff that he did, but I more enjoy his older Spider-Man, Daredevil, Uncanny X-Men that I have. Had him sign this Uncanny X-Men. He also did like a ticket system, so I kind of kept the ticket that went with that. The shame is that his new Spider-Man series was coming out like a week after the Kansas City Planet Con. So I would have loved to have that signed. I had another X-Men comic that I did through grading. So hopefully I'll get that back in 3/4 of a year. So, but I decided, since his line was fairly short, only about 20 minutes at most, and I got right up to him, and sometimes he was just standing at his table and you could have got right up to him. But I did get this one signed, so I'd have something to put in my collection right away, which I thought was pretty cool. Definitely. Oh, and he was wonderful. He was wonderful to talk to. New Yorker, Jersey boy, laugh and smile. And hopefully I put up a picture earlier on this so you can see where he signed my poster, my Marvel poster. He actually did a tiny little drawing on it. You might call a remark or something, is what you see sometimes what they're calling it, and they charge extra for that. But he was like super nice, and saw the poster that I brought, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that. That's cool." But another one that was really cool is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 55. I have the original, but I also have some of the other prints with different colors and everything. I decided to bring my red one. He had all sorts of different pens there to sign them in all different colors. There was one guy that was getting like a whole run of them signed. I don't know if it was for grading or for what it was. It was like probably about 20, 30 of the books. And the cool thing is he had taken one of each pen, like red, white, and blue, and he signed like different parts of his name and everything, different colors. So it was like red, white, and blue. I don't know if you could go on to eBay or something, or maybe find some of those to see maybe other stuff that people have done, but that was like super cool. I get mine, and then I see that stuff, and it's like, okay, what do you do? But that was pretty cool. And I had another one done by him. I just really enjoyed the cover with this one. One of the Amazing Spider-Man runs that he was on. Just kind of enjoyed that one, just the colors and everything with Doctor Strange. It was funny, in the line that I was waiting with, the guy right beside me had the exact same comic, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that was pretty cool too." So, that was a lot of fun. So got that signed by Patrick Gleason. Another guy that I had signed was Garth Ennis. Funny story with Garth Ennis is that I had books that I'd sent along with a friend to another signing for Garth Ennis. And when he came back to him, I was pretty upset because he had signed them, and I don't know if he tried to throw it in the bag too early, or if he wiped his hand across it or something, but he like smudged the silver, probably the same type of pen, the silver paint pen, totally smudged it. Looked like crap. So I still have the comics. I was so tempted just to chuck those in the trash. But then he like took it and then signed it again, you know, with a different colored pen, and it just looked just pretty dumb, and I was never really happy with that. So I was happy to finally go to a convention that he was at, and line for him wasn't as bad either. I got this one signed for Preacher, which I thought was pretty cool. Thought it was nice with all the different characters from Preacher, and I thought that looked pretty cool. So that one is in my collection now. And then another guy that was there was Alan Qua, and they had this special cover here. I guess for the convention only, for House of Slaughter. You can see he signed that. Looks pretty cool. I was pretty happy with that. I had brought another comic to have signed by him, and that was Dark Souls. And if you kind of look closely at the signature, white pens don't dry. A tip for everybody. White pens do not dry. As you can see here, white pens don't dry very fast. So I had stuck that into the comic bag too early, and I had smudged it and was pretty upset with that. That's probably one of the that's the reason I got the other comic there, the House of Slaughter, you know, so I'd have something from him. But tip for those, if someone signs with a white pen, wait forever to actually put that in a bag. Just blow on it, whatever. I thought I'd let it have enough time, but no, you can see. Ugh. Oh well, it's the sort of thing that happens. So what are you gonna do? Buy another comic. Then we got this is a comic book. I was originally going to have Sergeant Slaughter sign a G.I. Joe, a 3D G.I. Joe. He was actually on the cover of it, and he was like charging like $50, and I don't know what it was in my head. I just could not get past $50 for him to sign the comic. Plus, you know, on top of what I would pay for the 3D, you know, comic to get it just for the signing. So I had pretty much given up on getting Sergeant Slaughter to sign a book for me. But I just so happened, while I was at the con, to run across this, G.I. Joe 48, which was the first time that he made appearance in the comic. I think I paid like paid very little for it. And I thought, for the first appearance of Sergeant Slaughter, sure, I'll pick up another one. Not in the greatest of shape. And also, Sergeant Slaughter he lowered his autograph fee from like 50 to 40. And I don't know if that's because he just wasn't getting enough bites for people to go there. We were able to just go right up to him and get that signed. You know, and you can see he wrote quite a bit on there. I guess he was inducted to the Hasbro Hall of Fame in 2020. He's pretty proud of that. Talked a lot about that. One of my friends that was with me, he got one signed as well, and read lines with Sergeant Slaughter, and those guys look like they're having a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. I wasn't planning on doing it, but I ended up finally. And that could have been ugly. And then we got this one here, which is Star Wars #1. I decided to go with a facsimile. Didn't want to have him do my original one. I'm kind of getting to the point where if I have artists like autographing things, I don't want them to do the keys or #1s or stuff like that, just because some of the prices on this stuff is getting crazy, and I kind of view the signatures a little bit different, I guess, in my own head. So I didn't buy a facsimile of this, and I don't know, he just seemed like kind of a grumpy guy, and I don't know what I thought about him. Also, his signature, you can see, I'm going to have to look on eBay to see if it's any different, but 2 marks and a little slash. So you get Howard Chaykin out of that. Wow. And he charges 15 bucks for that. Charges 15 bucks for that. He did a little bit better on this other Star Wars comic that I had. This is actually the original, that's not a reprint. So I had an extra number 6, so I thought, I might as well have him do that. And it looks a little bit better. But, yeah, I don't know. Didn't put too much effort into that, so anyway. But I got that signed, so I was pretty happy with that. And the last thing that I am going to show you guys, it is not one that I got at Planet Comicon, but it is something I did want to show. Because just today, Neil Adams passed away at the age of 80, which is kind of sad. I've always seen him at conventions. One of the big conventions I go to mostly is C2E2. And always seen there, he's always had his own booth. Always seemed like a nice enough guy. Would talk with people, you know. I kind of was more of a frugal autograph collector, you know, and he charged, you know, he was one of the first ones charging for autographs. So I kind of was like, no, I'll just get him some other time. And then his prices kind of went up to a certain degree, and then I think they came down on one convention that I was at, and I thought, oh, what the heck, it's like, you know, $30 or so, and I'll go ahead and get, you know, a copy done. So I decided to get an old copy of Batman done. So, you know, I was happy that I got that, got to talk to him for a little bit. Nice enough guy. He's really did a lot of great Batman and Green Lantern and God knows how many comics over the years. So it'll be kind of sad not to see him at any upcoming, you know, cons. You know, just sad to hear that he passed away. So anyway, guess that's just how I end it. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. Talk to you guys later. Hit the subscribe and likes up button if you liked the video. Talk to you later.